Hi, we're here with Chinshu, CEO of Zilliqa. Welcome to Blockchain News Korea. It's a pleasure to have you here. Let me start that over again. So we're just going to ask a few questions to get to know about the Zilliqa platform. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you here to Zilliqa?
Sure, I'm Chinshu, the CEO of Zilliqa. My own background is mainly from something called cybersecurity. So it's mainly about dealing with attacks and how do we design your software systems in a way that that can be more resistant to such attacks. So this has something to do with the work I'm doing now, which is basically to use the blockchain technology to make systems more robust and more resilient. I started to work on blockchain in about 2016, I think. At that time, I was trying to commercialize the idea of sharding into permission blockchains for commercial deployments. For example, we were working on a project where we could use the blockchain technology to support securities trading.
Wow, that's a tremendous explanation that you gave there. Now, with regards to sharding, that's what Zilliqa is sort of known for, to address scalability. Could you maybe explain that in a very simple way for the average person?
Sure, let me try. At the very high level, sharding is about dividing a complex problem into different parts, and then you can solve all these parts in parallel. So eventually, you aggregate them together. So at the paradigm level, this is similar to map and reduce. You map the tasks to different people who can solve the problem, and then you reduce into a solution of different subparts, then eventually aggregate them together. But then if you look at the blockchain, right, what are we dividing and conquering here? So blockchain is all about running sort of redundant, duplicate computations or validations on different so-called nodes in the network. And these nodes are just computers. And then instead of having the whole network working on the same problem, then we can actually divide the problem into sub-problems, into smaller groups of nodes. And then each subgroup can actually work on a small part of it. So in this way, we can achieve parallel processing. We can eventually achieve higher throughput if we do this very properly. So that's a very high-level idea of sharding. Of course, there are many details to be figured out if we really want to implement it.
Right, thank you. And now there are many public blockchain platforms that are competing in this space to sort of be that third generation go-to platform. How does Zilliqa compete against those other blockchain platforms, and I guess why should dApps be sort of built on top of the Zilliqa platform? We
are not thinking in a way that all dApps should be built on Zilliqa. We are targeting a specific categories of dApps where high throughput or very strong security are top priorities for them. But then for some dApps, they may or may not require such specific features. So that's why we think Zilliqa is a go-to platform for specific dApps, and we really want to serve these dApps very well.
Great. And in terms of the roadmap for Zilliqa, where are you guys now? And maybe in the plans for the near future?
Right. We released our source code on GitHub, I think between end of December and January. And then now we just recently, a few days ago, released our first testnet to the general public. So now people can use our Explorer to see what's going on the testnet, how many transactions we're processing, how many blocks we're generating. And we are also making a web wallet, so people can start testing, sending these test tokens on our testnet. But this is just a first step to sort of completely disclose what we have in terms of our technical progress. But then we are really trying to make more improvement almost weekly on the stability and robustness of the platform. And we are also going to run some very exciting stress testing to just test out what is the actual sort of bottleneck on our platform. And then on the other hand, we are also developing a very interesting smart contract language called Zilliqa. So once that is completed, people can start writing a smart contract language in a completely different manner. That will be much more secure. And it's not just like it's secure by design. It's also about once the program is written in that, we can use existing tools to automatically prove that this is secure in what sense. Okay, great. And maybe perhaps do you have any final words or any sort of contact information you would like to present to the viewers? If you're interested, you can go to www.zilliqa.com. So we have our white papers, documents there, our presentations, and also the links to see the Explorer and wallet of our testnet.
Okay, great. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
It's a very exciting project, so please go check out that website, www.zilliqa.com, and please hit subscribe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.